Imagine if every time you needed to find something, you could just have it instantly in front of you, just by saying the word. Like, where did I misplace that June Surface laptop? Sick. Well, I can't promise you can do that in person, but on your device, there's always Recall. Now, where's that new sports car? Recall is a new feature coming to Copilot PCs that helps you easily look through your past activity to find what you're looking for quickly. Snapshots are taken by Recall every 5 seconds, so long as the content on your screen is different from the previous snapshot. Your snapshots are then locally stored, no internet or cloud needed for this experience, and then analysed by your PC. That way you can search for content, including images, using language you'd naturally use. All of this runs natively on a Copilot PC because of that 16GB of RAM, 40 TOPS MPU and 256GB storage capacity, with at least 50GB available for Recall. It will be a completely opt-in experience, meaning it's up to you if you want to use it. If you're unsure if it's for you, well, let me show you how exactly it works. I'm the kind of person that constantly cycles between 200 different browser tabs at any one time, whether it's online shopping, browsing social media, or maybe once in a while, actually doing some work. However, have you ever just finally closed your browser window after weeks of it being open and lost all those tabs and then realised, no, I had a tab open with all the info for my next work trip and I cannot remember for the life of me who sent me the link? I can, however, remember that on the website there was a picture of a brown leather bag with sunglasses. Weird what our brain actually remembers sometimes. As I've had Recall turned on, let me open it up using the icon in the taskbar and search in the search bar at the top, brown leather bag with sunglasses. I can type this or use the microphone icon to use my voice. Oh, and thankfully it's right there. That's taken me like 5 seconds to find, rather than having to search through my emails or messages to find a link, or even just scrolling through my internet history to find the right page. Now, this is just a snapshot of the web page from the time I was browsing it, but if I want to, I can choose to open up the web page at the base of the screenshot using this button right here. Now I'm right back to where I need to be, and all I had to do is use language that I would normally use to describe something I saw, and not have to remember any specific text from the page. Sometimes though, it's even easier for me to remember when I was working on something. For example, I present a lot at work. Shocking, I know. And with that, I tend to make a ton of PowerPoints. However, if you looked at my file explorer, you would 100% judge me for the absolute state I save things in. Nothing's organised, which makes trying to find a specific PowerPoint I was working on 2 days ago when I cannot remember what I even called the file a living nightmare. Or at least it is without Recall. If I know when I was working on the presentation or Word document, I can use this timeline feature to scroll back through everything I've been doing on my PC to that day in the timeline and see exactly what I was working on. As Recall takes snapshots every 5 seconds of your device, this includes any apps as well, unless you choose to filter them, of course, but more on that in a moment. When I find the document I was working on here, again, I can open up that screenshot of it. Even better is, just like in the previous example, I can use this button here to open that document and continue to work on it. No more endless searching through File Explorer for me. Now I can only open up the document, however, if I have saved it, as it must still exist so I actually have something to open. But worst case scenario is you haven't saved it and not all is lost, as you can still copy the text and images that are available from the screenshots and paste them into a new document. Day saved. Nice. That's just a couple of scenarios in which I'd find Recall most helpful. You're probably already thinking of ways you could be using it day to day. And while you're at it, why not let me know about it in the comments below? However, we all use our PCs in very different ways, and so the element of customization is important. This doesn't change at a feature level with Recall. For example, you may not want everything you want on your PC recorded at all times. Well, there are a number of ways you can customize Recall to suit this. If it's just a quick pause while you search for the partner's birthday presents online, click on the Recall icon by Quick Settings and then hit pause until tomorrow. This pauses all screenshots from being recorded until you either resume recall or until after midnight. But what about if you don't want to pause every time you go to a specific website or open a specific app, like your banking app, for example? We'll click on that same icon in the quick settings, then hit More Recall and Snapshot Settings. Scroll down until you see Filter options. Here you can filter any web addresses or app on your PC, and Recall will not take snapshots whenever you have them open. You can also use a private browser if it's just web-related content you don't want recorded, as Recall does not record any activity from Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Opera, Google Chrome or any other Chromium-based browsers while using private browsing. If you ever need to delete any screenshots that Recall has taken because you simply forgot to pause or filter, then that's also all good. Either head into Recall and find the specific screenshot you need to delete, or head back into Recall settings and you can delete either the last hour, 24 hours, 7 days, or 30 days of activity. You also may decide that Recall isn't for you, and that's okay. Recall will be an opt-in experience, meaning during the setup of your new Copilot+ PC, and for each new user, you're informed about Recall and given the option to manage your Recall and snapshot preferences. You can also change your mind at any time after setup, as you can turn on or off saving snapshots by going to Settings, Privacy and Security, Recall and Snapshots. If you choose to turn Recall off, it cannot be turned back on unless you decide to, even if your PC is managed by your company. As mentioned right at the start, all screenshots are stored locally on the device. For this to happen, you need to have at least 50 GB of storage free. However, depending on your device SSD size, you can actually customize how much storage Recall uses. If you have a 256 GB SSD, for example, you can choose to allocate either 10 GB or 25 GB of storage to Recall snapshots. If you have a 1 TB SSD, this can increase all the way up to 150 GB of storage space if you want it to. This will affect how far back Recall can recall snapshots, so customize this to your needs. As screenshots are stored locally, this means only the user can access those screenshots. No internet or cloud connections are required or used to save and analyze your screenshots, so at no point are they sent to Microsoft. Recall AI processing also occurs locally, and because the snapshots are secured locally on your device, it means that you can't even share the snapshots with another user on that device. There will also now be Windows Hello sign-in required to actually use, view, and enable Recall, meaning even if someone else is logged in on your user on your PC, they cannot access Recall without you being present and consenting to sign in. This means your snapshots are yours alone, giving you peace of mind. So that wraps it up for Recall. Just remember, at the time of recording this video, Recall is still currently in preview status, so it's not available on Copilot+ PCs just yet. However, keep your eyes peeled for when this exciting feature does drop. To keep yourself occupied in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more exciting Microsoft updates, tutorials, and overviews. That's all from me though. See you soon.